All right, guys, we are back at it. It's time for that Friday lunch break load up. It's 4 degrees outside right now, and we've got 4 guys heading out to Burke in the morning. First time being out there, so it should be fun checking it out. Good morning. It is Saturday. I'm just passing through Kellogg right now on our way to Wallace to do some snowmobiling. So this weekend should be quite a bit different than last weekend. Last weekend we had some really good temperatures. I don't even remember, thinking about how cold it was. So it was probably like 24 degrees. Going into this weekend, we did get snow all week long. And then last night the temperatures dropped a lot. So I know when I woke up at my house, it was -10. I looked up where we're riding at out of Wallace, and that was -17. I think we're only getting up to like 5 degrees today. So it's going to be a cold one. Definitely take some work getting used to layering and see what layering works for me. So watching all the snowfall over the week, I knew that I'd eventually need an Avy bag, so I decided to just pull the trigger and get one. I ended up getting the BAC Turbo E2, so that's the super capacitor model that lets you do multiple inflations off of just a couple AA batteries. So super light. It's a really nice bag. I'm excited to have it. Also ended up getting a beacon and a probe and a shovel, so I'm all set for Avy stuff now. So I'm meeting up with 3 other guys today. 2 of them are my old high school buddies, so that'll be super cool. And also Chris, the guy that we rode with last weekend. We're gonna be riding out of Burke. So this day started off kind of questionable. It was freezing that morning. I don't doubt that it was, hovering around -15 while we were standing around that parking lot, playing with my little GoPro mount on that shot in the front of the truck that you saw. And when I went to get that camera off of the antenna, like touching the metal was about the same as touching a hot stove. It was just crazy cold. But we got all suited up, and then my buddy on the Ski-Doo ended up having a no start. So he took off and ended up hanging with some family that he has in the area, and he ended up showing up a bit later in the day to help with the recovery. So right now we're just making our way towards the top of the mountain. We're the first 3 tracks up this little logging road, and I'm getting super excited to see what's on top. I'm really just waiting for my chance to be in the front of the line and get some of that fresh powder on this logging road. But it is still early season conditions, and I took it a little bit too far, getting off trail and getting in a bit over my head. Ooh.
So up to this point in the day, it had just been awesome. The snow was nice. Could have had a little bit more of it right there. You see me take a pretty good impact on this side hill, and I really should have heeded warning, because even though it's mid-January, we're dealing with a very early season snowpack. And coming up this next hill climb, that's just the last thing on my mind. A lot of guys have heard the term A-arm roulette, and that's just that game I was playing today. Coming up this hill, was not thinking about what might be under the snow, and more about my exit. And you can see that was my main mistake. So you can see that small, impression of the snow, but I wasn't focusing on that. I was focusing on making it up to the trail and how it's gonna turn left or turn right, and I hit a really good stump here. Ended up taking out my upper and lower A-arm, and probably the worst part was bending those Walker Evans Velocity shocks. So we were able to strap it together and just piggyback down the mountain and kind of reflect on the day.
All right, Alan, how'd we do?
I think we're gonna get it.
I think we're gonna get it too, dude.
Too bad.
Hey, nothing like busting your complete
Carnage.
A-arm pair on your second ride. So
Yeah, it's all right.
well, that is a rough day. I've got to say, it is mostly my fault. Just being excited and not paying attention. And that'll be an expensive boo-boo. But I've never been someone to learn from others, and usually gotta do it myself. back, dude. Check it out. Well, that day was an adventure, and it's the reason you make sure you go out with some good guys, and everybody was more than helpful today for my situation, so that was awesome.